This is Kamera, my first few minutes with God, day 100, 1 Samuel chapter 9 through 12. Saul comes into play. Saul, his father is named Kish. He's very influential. They come from the tribe of Benjamin. Saul is to be said the most handsome man in Israel and the tallest man in all of the land. Saul and his servant is out looking for their donkey, and they decide they would go and, well, they're actually his father's donkeys. And after a while, they decide to go and ask the seer about the donkeys. And so the Lord had already told Samuel that the person who he wants over king will be coming that day. And so once he sees Saul approaching, God tells him, that's your man. And so he introduces himself to Saul and the servant, invites him to a meal, and he tells Saul that the donkeys that he's looking for have been found and that his family is very important to the host of Israel. Saul is confounded, but he is led to the head of the table as a special guest among 30 other honorable people. And he's fed royalty. He's afterwards led to a prepared bed. The next day, Samuel wakes up him and his servant, leads them to the edge of town. He has Saul to send his servant ahead of them, and he tells Saul that God has a special message for him. So Samuel takes Saul and he pours olive oil over his head and kisses him, tells him that God has appointed him as king over Israel. Samuel then tells Saul what to expect once they leave. He's going to run into a few people. And as soon as Saul leaves Samuel, a new spirit, God has given Saul a new spirit. And he runs into everyone that God had told him that Samuel had told him he was going to run into. The man who tells him your donkeys are found and your father's worried. And that band of prophets, right? Saul prophesies. And Samuel had told Saul to meet him in like 7 days. So fast forward, Samuel calls all the tribes together, and he talks to them and tells them that God had delivered them from the Egyptians, and they rejected him, and they asked for a king. Then he separates the tribes, and he calls out Saul. Saul is nowhere to be found. God tells Samuel that Saul is hiding amongst the baggages. So they retrieve Saul, and he places them in front of everyone and tell them that this is their king. There is none like him. They yell out, "Long live the king." And Samuel, he tells them what the duties and rights of a king are. He writes them on the scroll and he places them before the Lord, and then he sends everyone home. So fast forward, the children of Israel who are on the east side of Jordan, they're being oppressed by Nahash, king of the Ammonites. He's gouged out their right eye. There's 7,000 of the Israelites who fled to Jabesh Gilead. A month later, he goes and he threatens them. Saul hears about this, and it says the Spirit of the Lord came on him mightily, where he became very angry, and he sent out this very graphic message to everyone that they need to meet with him so they can handle this situation. He gets about 300,000 people, warriors from Israel, and like 30,000 from Judah alone, and they go and they slaughter the Ammonites. And so Saul is pretty much, everyone is happy with him being king at this point. And they go and they anoint him. They go ahead and have this ceremony where he is installed as king of Israel. Samuel, he gives a final farewell, and he addresses all the children of Israel, reminds them that he has been serving them since he was a child, and that he reminded them of what God had done for them and how they rejected him over and over again. God has delivered them. Samuel prays for them, tell him he will continue to pray for them. He also called out that God sent rain, which God did send a thunderous rain, and people were fearful. But he tells them that I am still going to be here for you guys, praying for you and guiding you. So there you have it, guys. Day 100, 1 Samuel chapter 9 through 12. You have a God-filled blessed day.